I'm craftyandy, and this video, we do some recording and some editing. So, as always, check out the main channel, craftyaarts. And there's also the other channel involving furry stuff and commentary there as well. Weird Swords, also skits. We're going to go over one right now. We're going to get this recording set up. And support efforts. Also Patreon. Easy method, $2 a month. Make all the videos as early as I can for people before they post officially, including artwork, sketches, and other stuff that isn't just on every art page. I do that in high res, and I do it early. Everything else. So with that being said, I got a notice from Patreon, so I better check that out real quick. Alright. Let's also turn down the music. How loud that all was. Quick. So with that being said, so I got a notice from Patreon, so I better check that out real quick. Alright, ain't too bad. Alright. Okay. So what am I doing? Oh yeah.
What are furries? They're a group of people who dress up in costume and pretend to be animals. There's also a sexual undercurrent at the events. Some of it gets like, you know, well, watch out for the guy with the paddle.
Yeah, the restaurant, the Hofbräu House. Of all the clips you could have ever told, this is one that they pull and use.
So now, thanks to DeSantis' new law, kids are not allowed to go to an upcoming furry convention in Florida. And the furries are furious. We now turn it over to a real-life furry to respond. All right, how old are you?
118 in human years, flesh unit.
And what are you supposed to be dressed up as here?
I'm dressed up with a human suit and tie cosplay. Even though I'm a lemur, I like to look my best for coming on reactionary programs such as this.
And why are you dressed up?
Because America. Fuck yeah!
Starbucks! Fuck yeah! Disney World! Fuck yeah! Porno! Fuck yeah!
Well, I mean, you're also great at spankings. Did you see the video we just played?
Yeah, that's a restaurant chain called the Hofbräu House, where they spank everybody, especially humans. And has nothing to do with any furry convention. How much do they pay you to get shit like this wrong, Jesse?
There's a lot I don't know. So why do you want kids around people dressed up as squirrels getting spanked?
Ask the Hofbräu House that question. The real question is, why are humans such as yourself so insistent on kids being in rape factories such as the Catholic Church? I mean, just last month you had a report that came out about 2,000 children being raped over the course of 50 years by 450 clergy members? Yet you insist on them being around these places.
So why are you upset that kids are not allowed to be at the furry convention?
Just going to ignore that statement, huh, Jess? First, ask what I think instead of tell me what I feel, fuckstick. This convention, Megaplex, has been around for 20 years and has been all ages up until the point DeSantis decided to make his ban on drag queens and kings. Nothing that goes on in public display would be considered sex because that would be a violation of your decency laws, whether children are there or not.
Okay, you say it's not sexual. That's fine. We have video that proves otherwise.
All right, well, we established earlier that was the Hofbräu House, but okay, fine. I'm not sure you realize that spanking isn't sex. It was at a publicly open restaurant chain, and you showing that video on television kind of contradicts your moral posturing. How many human cubs see this show, Jesse?
But if, like, the governor said you can't have kids at the convention, why wouldn't you just say, okay, it's too bad, move on? Why are you and your crew so insistent on having the kids there?
Let's not have a misunderstanding here. It's up to a parent to decide whether to bring their kid to a convention like Anime Expo, for example, here, which allows ages between 17 and 0 to attend. Other human animal adults, especially fully grown non-human animals, are not responsible for parenting your children. That's why they are called your children.
Okay, do you blame yourself at all for being misunderstood? I mean, you're the one dressed up as a...
I'm also not responsible for your assumptions. Not judging a book by its cover is something I thought humans learned in kindergarten. Many would assume, based on your looks, that you wouldn't be the kind of guy that deflates a woman's tires in order to manipulate her into coming home with you, Jesse.
When I was trying to get Emma to date me, first thing I did, let the air out of her tires. She couldn't go anywhere. She needed a lift. I said, hey, you need a lift? She hopped right in the car.
Does she know this story?
No, she doesn't know the story.
Does she watch the show?
The Jesse Jr. does.
You're
basically the Zodiac killer.
Is that the first time you did it, or did you use that before?
It works like a charm.
Oh, okay.
So I'm curious, since you're such a moral grandstander, what do you have to say for yourself in regards of this behavior? Your silence will only incriminate you further, Jesse. No, Jesse! Don't take your anger out on me! No! Get back! Get back! No!
Isn't it fun?
I think it was good. All right. All right, 10 seconds in. I'm going to try to do this off the cuff and not have to write it out. There was one incident in this youth group that did put me in my place. This kid's brother was visiting the youth group event that happens on a weekly basis, and he was starting to give me shit for some reason. He was just being an obnoxious little twerp. He was only like a year younger than me, and he just kept pushing and kept pushing and kept teasing. And I told him to stop. He didn't stop. And eventually it got to the point where I just snapped. I grabbed him by the neck and held him up against the wall. And I said, do you want to die? It was in like this dream surreal state where it's like I couldn't really comprehend fully everything that was going on. So I'm holding him by his neck, asking him if he wants to die, and then I'm saying this the wrong way. There was one incident that did put me back in my place in youth group, though. This was a weekly event that we had every Wednesday, where we get together for a few hours and talk about the Bible and play some games. And this one kid was visiting. He was the younger brother of another kid that was in our group. He was only like a few years younger, if that. And for some reason, he decided that it was okay to start teasing me. I don't know how else to describe it other than he was just being obnoxious. And he kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And I was telling him to back off and stop, only for him to keep going until the point I snapped. And I entered in this trance, surreal, dreamlike state where it took a while for me to look back on and realize that this actually happened. I grabbed him by the neck and shoved him up against... I grabbed him by the neck and shoved him up against the wall. And I asked him, do you want to die? And his response was a sheepish, no. And then his brother shoved me off, and after some scuffling, next thing I know, there's a fist flying in my face, clocking me in the eye. I had a nice shiner on my cheek the next day, and people at my middle school even noticed and asked about it. I don't know what I said, but in the end, I just dismissed it off as maybe I fell. It was at this point, I have to mention that it was very hard to even approach me in a friendly manner. I was burned one too many times, so even if people tried to be nice to me or try to make conversation, my thought was immediately, this person is trying to size me up for some kind of ridicule or trickery. So I would respond in kind, in rudeness, in harshness. I would be very short with people and not give them anything that they could possibly use. So naturally, of course, anyone that was trying to approach me would just move on, and getting the vibe that I want nothing to do with them or talking to them. But the night that incident happened, that brought me crashing down again. And once again, I thought of that moment when I was 10 years old, holding the knife against my gut, wondering, is this something I should just follow through with? And the youth pastor gave me a call, the one that wasn't a rapist. We had a little discussion. He made me feel a little bit better. That's all I remember of that. The other incident that brought me down was camp. I've had pleasant experiences in camps. This one was an exception. The group I was hanging around with, that I thought I was a part of, all of a sudden told me to stop following them. And I thought, hey, we were all having fun picking on this other kid that was there at camp. Now all of a sudden, I'm the target. And after some argument, one of them held me down, threw me down to the ground, and told me to leave them all alone and go away. So 3 days out of the 6 days that we were at this camp, and already I'm just a complete pariah, so I just had to count down the hours and days remaining just to try and wait out the moment we get to go home. Not saying a word to anybody at that point. And let's see, what else was there? One other thing I need to mention. The lowest point was actually early in high school. It was the 9th grade, and I was failing 3 of my classes. It was so bad that I ended up going to summer school. In retrospect, summer classes were pretty laid back. I got along with people there. There was no one there that was from my school, at least no one in my grade that knew me. We'd have general casual conversations with the teacher about movies and other things. And the assignments were pretty easygoing in comparison to everything else. Smaller class. It was a smaller class too, so there was that personal element to it. On top of summer school, though, I had to help my parents out with their property of the first house that they were renting out and eventually selling. So my entire summer that year was shot. I started to fall into a depression. I would sit for hours in front of the speaker system in our basement, listening to the Downward Spiral from 9 Inch Nails. And that was how I spent a lot of my free time. That was how I spent some of my free time. And that was how a lot of my free time was spent that summer and year. To the point where even my mother was pretty concerned about what I was doing, if there was anything wrong or what I was going through. But of course, naturally, like any teenager, I never let on to anything. and then this next part. There's a few other moments that I got pushed to the point where there's a few other moments where the kids at one point were throwing papers at me, so I decided to throw a book back at them, and then I got suspended for a week. Funny how that works. I don't know if I want to go any further into that sort of thing. I think I'm just getting to petty territory at that point, losing focus on the overall theme. God, it just feels so stupid to describe some of this shit. For one instance, for whatever reason during my time, there was one particular student that I wanted to paralyze, and I actually entertained. For example, that paralyzing scene you just saw in the final clip I played, that was something I was entertaining myself in catharsis in regards to one student in my health class who, for some reason, whenever he saw me sit next to him, he would hit me in the shoulder and say, "What's up? What's up?" Smack. "What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?" Until I turned to him and say nothing. And he'd be like, "Okay," and then he'd leave me alone. And this would be a routine every time we have health class. And there's moments where I just wanted to grab the pencil and stab him. But I knew I'd be the one to get into trouble then at that point, so I just told him to fuck off. There was one moment too. There was another class where a bunch of people started throwing little papers at me. I don't know why. I guess they just saw it was amusing to see how much paper they could get on my desk. And I told them to cut it out, and they kept going. So I took my book and threw it at the nearest person. He got up and was almost ready to just kick my ass, and I was just sitting there ready to take it. And then the teacher interrupted him and told me to go to the principal's office, and so I did, and then I got suspended for a week. Because of course I would. This is where you get the idea, like, school is just a prison. You go in there, if you're by yourself, you get a bunch of shit from people, and if you fight back, you're the one that gets punished for it. There's a few times my writings got me into trouble. One was a story where me and my friends would become a serial killing band. And we go on tour playing music while at the same time killing people on the side. And then it ends with us killing ourselves on stage. So that was the rough draft. I thought that was a little too morbid. So in my final, I wrote it that we fly in a rocket ship to a moon base and live on the moon instead as our retirement going away tour. Yeah, I gotta say this for other things, I think. There's one thing, though, I need to have. In the 9th grade, when we started, we had a pep rally. And I remember how we would just sit there and sulk, like Oh, this is so fucking pointless. I don't give a fuck. All silent and depressed and reluctant to even participate even a little bit. By the time the 12th grade hit, we were jumping up in the air, stomping our feet, clapping our hands, and screaming as loud and obnoxiously as we could. Because we didn't give a fuck anymore. None of this shit mattered, and we knew it was all going away within the year. So it was like, who cares at that point? Pep rallies were loud as fuck. Yeah, they were. Yeah, that last year we definitely helped it. All right. I think there's some I want to add on to this, but I don't think the other ones though. Well, I think I'll save some of the other ones for other times, other stories. I think I'm losing a little focus on the actual overall theme of this piece here. Right. Alright, Demons Closing In. Oop. Alright. I just gotta figure out where to put this. Nope. $15.05. Okay. All right, right there. So this is where the youth group ends. Magdalene. This is how we crossfade it. Get rid of these pauses. Get those clipped out. Yeah, that was a horrible time. Like, I just imagine, I remember it rained. It, like, sprinkled for 3 days straight, too. Like, the last 3 days, it was just a constant stream of rain. Because we're by, like, the lake, I guess, in this camp. And I remember those, like, last 3 or 4 days, I was just counting down. Like, okay. 2 days left, and I get to go home. 3 days left. Oh, we're expected to go to the church this time. Okay, I'll go there. Eat my food, and then I'll sit around and do nothing for the entire time. Okay, that can go somewhere in this later portion. Let's see, this is where that instant goes. But now we'll just copy that. Yeah. Is that a real word? Okay, yep. Catharsis. Like, I knew cathartic, just want to make sure catharsis was an actual thing. I wonder what that kid's doing right now. me look him up. That kid, like he's, you know, my fucking age. That's the one. That's the only good thing about Facebook, right? Oh. Hey, there he is. Ah, so he's a rich boy. Marine. Is that him? Yeah, it looks like him. Guy on the left looks familiar. Got boat, car. I don't care for boats. Just, you know, driving around in the fucking boat is okay, I guess. Seems like such a hassle. Uppers. I can't comment on this shit. Yeah, typical dude bro, right? Oh, some of the shit's just like from 2022. Okay. One. Oh man. What is that? What did you marry? The roof was leaking? Damn. That'd be devastating for some of the students. Well, it happens once in a lifetime, right? Nice Freddie Mercury. Look back around, okay. So he's still active on here, surprisingly. Let's see. See if I can even recognize this kid. This is the one that gave me like the most grief. Maybe? Everyone has a fucking Facebook, right? No idea. Definitely not. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. They're all dead anyways. Dead to me anyways. There's gotta be a good scene where I can pull from a movie or something. Pencil stabbing.
You, but I have to keep the club. you slack. He is absolute class.
Fancy some more talent, boy?
I'd like to make a complaint. What's your name?
Jog on, boy, before I grind your bones to make my bread.
I can barely understand what the hell's going on there.
A scar 2 years ago. Over and over. And
I never saw Red Eye. Like, I was trying to watch it, but I was drawing at the time, so I saw nothing. Reporter gets stabbed on TV while testing knife-proof vest. Oh, Jesus.
Chase.
He don't know nobody.
I need to see Casino. I haven't seen Casino yet. This autistic person uses pencil and law of mathematics and chemistry to kill his victims.
Welcome back to Fox Recap.
Yeah, tell me what the fucking movie is, please.
Today, I'm going to explain an episode from the series Fringe, released in the year 2010. The episode opens up with Milo Stanfield, a young man who seems to be suffering from autism. He can be seen observing a lady entering a
Some guy beating some other guy, but it's directed by Scorsese.
That I've known him back, and then he got really angry.
Fucko, you want some? Huh?
This is Goodfellas.
What do you want, fucko? You want some? Huh?
Oh, hey! What are you doing?
I swear my fucking mother, if you touch her again, you're dead!
Don't shoot! Hi, Chris. Are you alright? Are you alright?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes. I know there are women like my best friends who would have gotten out of there the minute their boyfriend gave them a gun to hide. But I didn't. I gotta admit the truth. It turned me on.
Only do that for you. Fuck. Yeah, I should give the Pet Cemetery make a chance. What was it doing? Oh yeah, pencil stabbing.
Basically.
Oh.
Why don't you start them
This guy's face. He'll liven things up a
What's
bit.
your favorite Christmas present?
What's your favorite Christmas film?
Why would they go into that? Oh, it's so
Jack Jones, what happened during the filming of Punisher when you accidentally got stabbed during filming?
Ow?
What was
Kevin Nash in that movie? What's that?
What were you stabbed with?
So they had it's a scene where there's a butterfly knife, and they have two knives. They have the one that he actually fucking manipulates, and then they have the other one that as you push it, the blade it retracts inside of the handle.
So the fake one and the real. You were fucking Alec Baldwin before Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, so I got stabbed right here in the collarbone with the real one. They fucking Thomas did it, and it wasn't like I'd done fucking 9,000 movies, and this is a Marvel, so I'm just like fucking boom. They stabbed me, and I just no.
Why'd they need the real one on the set for a different shot?
Because it was the weight of it was different for him to handle it.
Right.
To practice with it, because he would, he went through like special forces training to allocate to all the different weaponry and everything.
Shit, that was Kevin Nash. Holy shit. I wouldn't recognize him. This is such a great scene. I don't know. People give the 2004 Punisher a lot of shit. I don't understand. Like, reading the comics, some of the comics later on, I was just like, yeah, this kind of fits. I have to admit, too, I like the Punisher Warzone. It's more ridiculous. But... See, where does he get stabbed? Oh, the part oh, there it is. Butterfly knife. Oops. I'm guessing that's not the take where he actually got stabbed. Because he probably would have broke character and have been like,
everything else, and so they taught him with a real butterfly, and then of course they made it, and the prop guys over there sniffing up this Asian girl's ass, trying to fucking get her number, and doesn't change out the knives, and I take one in the collarbone.
And he couldn't feel a difference. I mean, I would have checked it, I think, before we started shooting, but whatever.
Yeah, but that's that exactly when that shit happened on the set with Baldwin. I said to myself, I'm like yeah, yeah. In hindsight, of course, yes. You should have. But you've done it. it's like, fuck, it's like, it's somebody else's job. You know,
Yeah. Fix that part. I'm trying to see where this fits. Yes. And this one. Probably. All right. I'm getting pizzas. I think it could fit between here. Guess it could just fit here. Can I hide this better? Alright, we're gonna have to cut things early, because I gotta go to the bathroom and then I gotta get pizza.
that's where that ends. Really, what happened was, not even really. It's that turned around and like, who the hell's doing that? And some random person's like, I'm doing that, even though it wasn't him. I kind of knew it wasn't him, but whatever. He wants to take credit for it, so I threw the book at him. I threw a big ass science book right at his fucking face. He was so pissed. But luckily, the teacher interrupted him before he could do anything to me. Call my fucking mother in. And I guess I should have to save these for during the different time. I don't know. I think I get the idea across. I'm kind of just. This whole section. Oh. Yeah, let's cut all that out. Keep the flow going for the most part. Pass that on. Let's go through that real quick. Right there. put that. We went from not giving a fuck to not giving a fuck. I just love it. Eh. This I think is worth adding. That moment of silence. I want to see this again.
Aspect of me. I become more accepting of myself. My porn addiction was getting out of hand. It was insane. I was spending multiple hours downloading the same images, deleting them, and then downloading them again. Shaming myself out of it only made the situation worse. Life is full of ironies, and when I finally said, fuck it, God's gonna have to understand this, that this whole cycle finally ended. And was able to focus more of my energy on important things instead of fighting with myself. A year later after this, I figured out Christianity was a whole lot of bullshit. Reading the Bible helps that, but hypocritical Christians pushing creationism gave me that initial push. Life is full of ironies. And lastly, I would get over my personal insecurities.
Are you down, depressed, and out of sorts? When you get up in the morning, do you feel like moldy mozzarella cheese? Well, pop this into your ear, stooge ball. It's the Yoopers' new release. We're still rocking from punk to polka. And we're still rocking.
I mean, everything is terrible.
You feel your face, scratch your butt, take a number 2. Boy, ain't your life tough.
Well, his daddy used to tell his song, get a big tuck, or even yo carrying a heavy load.
Is your little handgun broken? Is it shooting high and low?
Vampire surfing girls from Munising Bay. Give me another beer. 20 selections of primal therapy that'll leave you smiling
Think my beagle's gay? I want to hear that song.
for days. To get your copy of the Yoopers' We're Still Rocking, call the number on your screen or visit a fine retail store near you.
Some adult content, sense of humor required.
Hello, I'm Crafty Andy. Don't mind this. This is just a butcher boy on.
Yeah, Cincinnati, August 6th. Doing it.
My beagle drives a rabbit all night long. Him and his buddy Pete cruise the bush roads out of town. I seen them back there. Well, I sorta suspected them two right from the start. I seen them once holding paws, yeah. Now a stick of dynamite won't break them two apart. Not even a crowbar. The buddies think he's a good old Studley hound. Well, the greatest damn old rabbit driving mutt around. But they don't know his tail wags the other way. Holy war, I'm telling you, I think my beagle's gay.
It's humiliating, aggravating, frustrating, irritating when your dog's a fornicating on a mailman's leg. The humiliation, aggravation, frustration that you feel when dog's got a red one for the neighbor's bulldog stay. It's repugnant.
Should I make him change his ways?
It's redundant.
Will they always be that way?
You know, looks can be deceiving and love is blind, they say.
But I'm not sure. I think my beagle's gay.
Oh, good. Homophobia. My favorite. Alright, let's go.
Bop shoobady doo, 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 bop shoobady doo.
That's how every baptism should be.
Shoobady doo 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 doo. Bop shoobady doo 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 doo. Bop shoobady doo, bop shoobady doo, bop shoobady doo doo doo. Shoobody doo, bop 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 shoobady doo, bop shoobody doo 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 doo, bop shoobody doo 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 doo, bop shoobody doo doo shoobady doo, bop shoobady doo 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 doo, bop shoobady doo, bop
Ascension. Alright, let's see Kevin Nash kick some ass. I mean, if he was the assassin, you know, just a shotgun to the face. I mean, this is America, right? Everyone has guns. But I guess the Russian likes to do things very slow. guy. Oh, those paper plaster walls, you know? Playing out like a wrestling match. Oh shit, Frank Castle's fucking done. You can still fire. Shotgun attack. Of everything, that's the thing that kills Russian. The flight down the stairs. I mean, I guess the burning too.
Mr. Castle? Frank?
I'm fine. He's not.
And then like a half hour, not even half hour later, like while the guy's still there, more goons from the same boss come after him. Like within like the next 10 minutes, they're like, okay, fine, fuck it, just send some guys with guns. Like it couldn't be like a week later. Oh, our guy failed. The guy we hired failed. Fine, just send a bunch of people after him. No, it's like instant.
Hello, kids. Reverend Divine here.
Everything is Terrible is back with an all-new movie and live show!
And they're bringing it to you!
I'll try to get some, at least some camera.
Come on out to the show.
Shoo bop. Too late, YouTube. Too late.
Hello.
Alright. Come on, bring me back. Bring me back. Do it.
Putting the past and societal expectations weigh me down. I didn't just want a normal job, I didn't want kids, and I had a lot of weird interests and ideas that I wanted to explore. And so, I did. I stepped out of my comfort zone when it came to public events, sharing my interests, overcoming my personal demons. Overall though, it involved a lot of luck. I have seen plenty of people that I would consider a reflection of what could have been if one or two factors were not met. What got me through was first having parents who at least gave a shit. Yeah, I could complain about...
Okay, we're back. Good. Okay, gotta go. Good night, everybody. Everyone. Have a nice night. Boop. Boop, boop. Gotta order pizza. Then I gotta go fucking work. Or do I? No, I am feeling pretty sick. Someone sent me a direct message on Twitter. Let's see if I have to screen